Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Simple Home and Hearth kitchen. And tonight I'm going to be showing you how to make mini meatloaves. It's wonderful, quick, easy, and you'll have leftovers, or maybe not. But I wanted to show you how quick and easy it is to make mini meatloaves. So come on into my kitchen and let's get started. Okay, first of all, let me tell you what you need for ingredients. It's very simple. You need 2 pounds of ground beef. You'll need either tomato sauce or tomato paste. I used my own homemade tomato sauce. You will need oats or breadcrumbs, either one. I'm going to use oats today. You will need some Worcestershire sauce, some dried minced onion, some kind of seasoning, and or salt and pepper, or a little bit of both. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients, or with the meat. 6 ingredients total. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. And you'll also need either a cupcake tin or a mini loaf pan. I have 2 of these. I absolutely love them. So now that you have everything in its place, and you're ready to start making it, and I'll show you what I do. All right, let's get this party started, shall we? I have rolled up my sleeves. We're ready to go to work. All right, I have 2 pounds of hamburger in a big bowl, and I am going to be, first of all, before I get this done, before I start working on the hamburger, I am going to, let me move this so you can see. I am going to spritz my loaf pan, or whatever pan that you want to use. I'm going to spritz it so it doesn't stick. Look at that. Beautiful! I love my Misto spritzer. Spritz it with olive oil. There's no chemicals. It uses a suction vacuum technology to spritz. It's fabulous. It's better than that store-bought stuff that uses CO2 and it's fake and it's chemicals, and I don't like it. So I use my Misto. Try to get yourself one of these. It's extremely versatile. I love it, and it's all natural. All right, so we've greased our pan now, and I preheated my oven to 350, as I said. Now comes the fun part. Like I said, I don't use recipes. Very, very rarely do I use a recipe. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I love onions. And sometimes I use fresh onions, but I've also found that when, especially using an 80-20 ratio fat hamburger, fresh onions, as they cook, they release liquid, and it makes it kind of bubble up and bubble over, and can get a little sloppy, and maybe they won't hold together as well. So when I'm making meatloaf, I choose to use dried onions instead of fresh. Usually I use fresh everything, but not with my meatloaf. All right, and the seasoning I'm going to put in it, we do have a meatloaf seasoning, but I'm going to be using this today. It's the Montreal steak seasoning. Yeah. And I open the spoon side, not the shaker side, because the shaker side doesn't put enough out. You know, I love my spices. Put some of that in there. Beautiful. Worcestershire sauce. Store brand. I'm not picky. I do like the Worcestershire sauce that's old-fashioned, that actually has anchovies in it. That's really good, but it's very expensive. And I usually use rolled oats, but all I have are quick minute oats. So grab a handful, put some in there. Now, when we were growing up, my mother would always put an egg in her meatloaf, and I don't. I do sometimes if I'm in the mood for it, but you really don't need it with this recipe. You don't need eggs. So this is a good recipe for to eat for people who are allergic to eggs. And then, with your sleeves rolled up, your jewelry off, get in there and mix it all up. Okay, I've mixed it up and I've washed my hands. So let's put them in the form. I like to make little balls. Kind of like that. Might be a little much actually. Yeah, that's a little much. Take some of that off. And push it down in there. I'll get these full. 2 pounds of hamburger should make 8 mini meatloaves. Okay, now comes the tomato sauce or tomato paste. But first, I have to drink a cup of coffee or have a sip of coffee. All right, I did not put any tomato sauce or tomato paste in the meat itself, but I am going to take a little tiny spoon. These are little small teaspoons I got when we lived in Norway, and I love them. But I'm going to take the back of my spoon, or if you've got a spatula or whatever, you can do it that way too, and just generously cover each meatloaf with the tomato sauce. Okay, there you have it. Now, into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes at 350 degrees. Ta-da! That's it. So when the meatloaf is done, I will take it out of the oven and show you what it looks like. And over here, this is for dinner. We are having steamed corn on the cob. And I'll save the cobs. I cut the corn off the cobs and then I save the cobs for corn cob jelly. So we're having meatloaf and corn on the cob for dinner tonight on this cold, blustery fall day. Can't beat it. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll be right back when the meatloaf is done. Okay, my timer went off and I actually baked them for 25 minutes instead of 20. I checked them at 20 and they just weren't quite done. I didn't have that good gut feeling about it, so I put it in for another 5 minutes. So let's see how they look. Go. Beautiful. And there you have it. Quick and easy mini meatloaf. Enjoy.